Getting the second hour of the night cruise rolling, that was Bon Jovi right here on Freedom FM. Anyway, welcome to Wednesday, June 24th, which is, of course, World UFO Day. So remember to binge watch every episode of The X-Files a little bit later on. Now that you've made it into the second hour of the night cruise, let me remind you that my name is Feargal, and for the next while, I've got you back with the smoothest romance, relaxing and chill tunes from both the 90s and, of course, the noughties. And not only that, you've also arrived just in time to get in on our triple threat game. Now, if you're scratching your head and thinking, what's that all about? Don't worry, because here is the lowdown. You see, earlier on, I ducked into the production studio and rummaged through the Freedom FM music vault. And while there, I pulled out 3 classic romance and chill-out tracks from the 90s and noughties. Then I slowed one down, sped one up, and left one in all of its original glory. Then I mixed them together into one short scrambled snippet that I'm about to play for you in a moment. And your mission, if you're up for it, is to identify all 3 songs and their artists. If you get it right, you could be hearing your very own name on the radio a little bit later on this morning. I mean, what could be better? But here's the thing, if you don't have a clue what songs are in the triple threat, that's okay too, because simply send me in your most outrageous or silly or ridiculous guess, and if it's funny enough to crack a smile here in the studio, you could earn yourself the title of Midnight Messer with a partial name check on air. Right, ready to have a go? Okay, then listen closely to this.
Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. WC Handy.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
So, you want to hear them again? All right, here they are.
Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. WC Handy.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
So if you know what tracks they are, or don't, then drop me a WhatsApp on 086-206-8888. That's 086-206-8888 with the names of the songs and the artists. Serious or silly, all answers are of course welcome. It's Freedom FM's Night Cruise, the perfect mix of romance, relaxing and chilled out noughties and 90s vibes. But hey, we're not just all about the slow grooves, because if your nostalgia needs a little bit more pulse, a little bit more beat, then Friday night is where you want to be. Eamon at 8 and Alan at 10, bringing you the ultimate dance anthems to fire up the weekend, get your feet moving and keep the energy sky high. So mark it down, tell a friend and get ready to turn up the Friday night party, only here on Freedom FM. The unmistakable Guns N' Roses are knocking on heaven's door, a band who are going to be on stage in Wembley tomorrow evening, and then they're off around the rest of the UK and Europe, but no Irish dates whatsoever. Anyway, this is the world-famous Night Cruise, where we are neck-deep in this week's triple threat game. The game where you have to tell me the songs and artists of 3 90s or noughties hits from listening to a short, jumbled-up clip. Now, loads of you have cracked it, and I will get back to you lot in a moment. But first up, it's our Midnight Messers. Those listeners who forgo a full name check in return for a partial one and a chance of being crowned a Midnight Messer with their wonderfully, ridiculously wrong guesses. So let's give a shout out to a few of the most creative ones that made us smile. And first up, it's Mike from Cork City, stepping up with Feargal. I need you to confirm something. Tell me there's no way Culture Beats Mr. Vane is lurking in this week's triple threat. Mike, your instincts are spot on. No Mr. Vane here, just pure mischief. And with that, you officially join the Midnight Messers Club. Next up, it's Fiona from Belfast who says, Feargal, I'm just putting this out there. Are we really saying that nowhere deep in this week's triple threat mix is Cotton Eyed Joe by Rednecks? Fiona, unless we've secretly turned the clock back to the mid-90s country techno madness and converted that into a ballad of sorts, I think it's safe to say that it isn't. But for sheer commitment alone, welcome to the Midnight Messers Club. And finally, Phil from Mayo is checking in with a level of confidence that demands attention. Feargal, I am convinced that Informer by Snow hasn't somehow made it into this week's triple threat. Phil, fear not, this is not the moment Snow makes an unexpected comeback in our game. But for sheer commitment to chaos, you are now officially a Midnight Messer. Right, with the Messers duly celebrated, why don't we have another listen to this week's actual triple threat snippet and see if you can crack it.
Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
So if you worked out the 3 songs and artists in the mix, now's your chance to shine. WhatsApp me your answer at 086 206 8888. Be quick, because you could be hearing your name on the air very soon. It's Freedom FM's Night Cruise, where I'm just about to wrap up this week's triple threat game. You know the deal. I took 3 classic 90s or noughties tracks, slowed one down, sped one up, and left one just the way it was, and your job was to name the songs buried in the chaos. And in case you need a reminder, here is the snippet one last time.
Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
Now, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who jumped in with their guesses, because plenty of you nailed it. But if you're a regular around these parts, you know the studio's faithful computer only lets me see 4 names at any one time. So with that said, let's give a well-earned shout-out to Keith O'Sullivan in Ballyfermot, Isabel Vaughan in Lucan, John Byrne in Ferndale, and Laura Muller in Coolock, all of whom cracked the code and got it spot on. But before the big reveal, let me remind you that if you had fun with this one, let's do it all again next Wednesday night just after midnight, shall we? Bring your ears, bring your music memory, and maybe a little luck, because Triple Threat is back next Wednesday just after midnight. All right, let me tell you that this week's Triple Threat in reverse are Thank You by Dido, Angel by Westlife, and Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohen. That was the last of this morning's Triple Threat, Dido and her brilliant number 1, Thank You. And that song tells me that is all the mess I can make of your radio for this week. Thank you for your company. Both you and your messages made this show, as they always do. Now, listen up, because I got to tell you that Alan will be here with the 1990 Freedom Years at 7. Aidan Power is going to serve you breakfast at 8. And Nikki B will do the next night cruise at 11 p.m. tonight. As for me, well, I'll talk to you next Monday at midnight, so join me then and we'll find out what you got up to over the weekend. And if that wasn't enough, we're also going to have a crack at our Love Slowed Down game. Until then, my friends, thank you for your time this time. So until next time, take care of yourselves and, of course, each other.